Chapter 6001. Thinking that she might become the same kind of person as Charlie, Nanako was very excited. She looked at Master Jingqing and asked respectfully, "Master, I wonder if you can give me some advice on how to truly realize enlightenment." When speaking, Nanako felt very unsure. She feels that in today's society, it is normal to keep everything secret. Even in ordinary martial arts, it is impossible for any sect or family to tell others about their inner thoughts, let alone such higher-level cultivation. However, she still wanted to give it a try, because she felt that since Master Jingqing had told her so much, maybe he would be willing to say a little more to make her suddenly enlightened. Master Jingqing took a deep breath at this time and couldn't help but sigh. The devotee has great talent, and I cannot just sit back and watch the devotee's talent be buried and wasted. She has basically found the key to enlightenment. But the only wrong step is, it was the devotee who should not have tried to let his consciousness enter the sea of consciousness by jumping up. This method cannot enter the sea of consciousness. Nanako quickly asked, "Then how can we enter the sea of consciousness?" Master Jingqing said word by word, "Let the spiritual consciousness blend in." Blend in? Nanako exclaimed, "Could it be that I let my spiritual consciousness merge with that sea of consciousness?" "That's right." Master Jingqing nodded and said seriously, "Devotee, the so-called sea of consciousness is just like the universe that I mentioned. If the benefactor regards his own consciousness as himself, it is equivalent to a person jumping into a sea. The ocean is vast, but what people can perceive is only 10 feet or dozens of feet away. Only by integrating the divine consciousness into the sea of consciousness can the divine consciousness control the entire sea of consciousness, so that the entire sea of consciousness can be intuitively presented to oneself like a globe. So, the devotee should not enter the sea of consciousness with the so-called subjective consciousness of I, but should abandon the definition of self in the spiritual consciousness. At the moment of jumping, let go of all self and let the spiritual consciousness completely enter the state of selflessness. And when the selfless consciousness is completely integrated with the sea of consciousness, you will have successfully enlightened." Although Nanako understood what Master Jingqing meant, she didn't know what it meant in the true sense. The no-self state. She feels that human thinking is subjective. When thinking about problems at any time and under any circumstances, you must use your own thinking. How can you abandon your own consciousness from your own spiritual consciousness? So, she asked Master Jingqing, "Master, how can we achieve selflessness?" Master Jingqing said, "Selflessness is also the unconscious realm mentioned by the Buddha. This is a state that can only be understood but cannot be expressed in words. As a poor monk at that time, I didn't understand how to be truly selfless. It took me 8 years to finally find that state. Therefore, the devotee could only try and search slowly on her own. And the poor monk could not give any good advice or help." Nanako was not disappointed and said with great respect, "Thank you, Master, for your advice. I will try my best." Master Jingqing said, "Devotee, you can also give it a try now. Although the poor monk cannot help you, as a bystander, I may be able to give the poor monk some personal suggestions based on the progress." Nanako hesitated for a moment, nodded slightly, and said, "Thank you so much." After that, she asked, "Then let me give it a try now, okay?" Master Jingqing stood with one hand on his chest, pointed to the futon under the lecture platform for disciples to sit cross-legged and meditate, and said, "Amitabha, please give me a favor." In the other courtyard, Margaret looked at Nanako on the monitor and asked Sister Sun beside her, "Sister Sun, it took Jingqing 8 years to realize Taoism. How long do you think it will take Nanako?"